Hello guys, welcome back to my 25-26 Hershey Bears season recap, as the Bears have been eliminated from the Calder Cup playoffs as they lose to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins in 4 games. So I don't want to be making this video right now. Obviously I want the Bears to win the Calder Cup, but that did not happen this year, and so now it's time to go over the season and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. I'm going to go into some of the things that I got to experience this year, some people that I met, and all that. So, starting off, I think we're going to start off with some statistics here. Now, I looked at some of the skaters, and I'm going to be going through some of the guys who had the most points on the team, just basically going over the guys who pretty much carried the offense for most of the year. So obviously the player with the most points, we all know, it's Ilya Protas. He played 69 games for the Bears this year. He had 29 goals and 37 assists for 66 points. Now obviously this is just regular season. I figured playoffs, I'm not going to go into playoffs. This is just regular season. But Protas had 66 points. Really good rookie season for him. He's going to be on the Caps next year. There's just no question about it. And, so definitely will be missed in Hershey, but excited for him as he's going to go up to the NHL next year and be a big piece for the Capitals next season. Next up, Andrew Cristall. He played all 72 games. He had 20 goals and 40 assists for 60 points. And so he also had a really good rookie season. He's another guy going into training camp next year with a potential opportunity to make the team out of camp and be an important piece for the Capitals next year. Now, I could also see him come down to Hershey, get a little bit of time in Hershey, and then get a full-time job up there. So I could see it going both ways for him. But for Protas, he's for sure going to be in the NHL. I think if Protas is in Hershey next year, it's either because of an injury or it's because he's struggling. But I think Protas is ready for the NHL, and I don't think he needs time in Hershey next year. Cristall, I think he's going to get a really fair chance out of camp. If there's a spot, he could very well get it. But if there's no spot, then maybe he ends up coming back to Hershey, which I won't be complaining, because I think having a youngster that's going to get points is nice. But Hershey's going to have a lot of young guys next year. Milton Gastrin is signed. He'll be with Hershey next year. There's also guys like a Lyndon Lakovic, a Tarek Parasek, however you pronounce that. There's a lot of young guys coming up that could very well be in Hershey next year and have a big impact for Hershey next season. Next up, Bogdan Trineyev. He played 62 games, 17 goals, 28 assists for 45 points. Bogdan had a really nice year as well. And if I'm the Caps, I'm giving him a fair chance out of camp next year. And I'm thinking he might make the team. Bogdan has really grown a lot as a player. He could be a very solid bottom six guy for the Capitals next year or in years to come. But if I'm the Caps, I think Bogdan could be a really nice help for them. And so I do believe that Bogdan definitely could have a good chance of making the Caps. But I do believe he'll be in Hershey for at least a little bit of time next year. I just don't think he's making the team out of camp, even though I think he should. Just because, again, Bogdan's got the skill. He's got the talent. And he definitely would be a good bottom six forward in the National Hockey League. Now, Brett Leason. Brett Leason played 56 games, 14 goals, 30 assists for 44 points. Brett Leason didn't start the year in the Capitals organization. The Caps ended up signing him. They sent him down to Hershey. And Brett Leason provided a lot of offense for the Bears. Really fun to see him. I don't believe Brett Leason's a Bear next year. I think the Caps will either have him up there in the NHL with them, or they're going to trade him, or he's going to be traded to another NHL team and play, in the NHL. Leason's a great player. He's got NHL experience already. I just can't see him being with Hershey next year. I think he should be an NHL player. just because, again, the skill's there. And, yeah. Next up, Ivan Mirostachenko. Now, he played 41 games, 14 goals, 20 assists for 34 points. So, obviously, he did spend some time up in the NHL with the Capitals this year. That's why he only played, 41 games. But, yeah, I mean, Miro had a solid year in terms of points. There definitely was some plays where I got a little pissed off at him. I was at one of the games, I forget how, but he gave up the puck. It was like a breakaway, and luckily that didn't, cost them the game. But there was definitely plays where Ivan pissed me off. But all youngsters, they have those mistakes, and you just got to learn from them. And I thought Miro did a solid job this year. I think he'll probably be a full-time, Capital next year, because he did look pretty good in the opportunities that he got up in the NHL this year. I also didn't mention that Protas, made his NHL debut this year. He looked good too. So the Caps have a lot of young guys coming up that obviously will be competing for a spot out of camp next year, and very well could have his spot just because the talent's there, the skill. And so guys like Miro, Leeson, Trineyev, Cristal, Protas, they're all going to try to make the Capitals next year. I doubt every one of them makes it, but there's definitely going to be at least a few of them that get the spot up there, because I mean, Hershey's got so many young, talented players that the Caps can really take. Leeson's not super young, but Leeson's still a very capable player and still somebody that the Caps should obviously look at in terms of getting a spot up there for the in the NHL next season. Next up, we have Wyatt Bongiovanni. Now, Wyatt Bongiovanni played 65 games with the Belleville Senators and the Hershey Bears. He was actually involved in a trade with Graham Clark, who I'm going to mention soon. But, Wyatt Bongiovanni, he did a solid job. Had 15 goals, 15 assists, 30 points this year. Obviously, that's between the Senators and the Bears. But, Bongiovanni did a fine job. I don't really have much to say about him. I'm still kind of learning, his game and whatnot. I still am not, super familiar with the guy. He didn't play every game that he could have in Hershey. I think he was dealing with some injuries and whatnot. But, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I thought Bongiovanni did a fine job when he was traded, to Hershey. Henrik Rubinski's up next. He played 59 games, 10 goals, 20 assists for 30 points. Rubinski's solid player. I think he'll probably be in Hershey next year. I know in one of my other videos I mentioned how maybe he makes a team out of camp, but I think he's probably going to be in Hershey next year. But I would like to see him make his NHL debut next year. Because again, I think the talent's there. I think Rubinski's a good player. And I'd like to see him make his NHL debut next year. I just don't know if that's going to happen, but I definitely would like to see that happen. Next up, Graham Clark. Now, obviously, like I just said, Bongiovanni and Clark were swapped. Clark started the year in Hershey. Bongiovanni started the year with the Senators. Clark did a fine job. 50 games, 15 goals, 9 assists, 24 points. He wasn't super phenomenal in Hershey. I felt like as soon as he went to Belleville, that just sparked him. With Hershey, he definitely struggled. Ended up being traded to Belleville, and he just starts playing like a pro. I mean, he killed Hershey in the games that he came to Giants in or whatnot. But yeah, next up, Alex Suzdalev. Now, Suzdalev had a phenomenal season. I was thrilled with Alex Suzdalev's year. He looked awesome. Just super fun to watch this year. He played 41 games, 10 goals, 14 assists for 24 points for Suzdalev. Got a lot more playing time this year. Took advantage of it. Did a really nice job, and definitely really happy with the production of Alex Suzdalev. Next up, we have Matt Strome. Now, Matt Strome played 55 games, had 8 goals, 15 assists for 23 points. Stromer had a solid year, primarily on the penalty kill, whatnot. He was actually having a really good year. And then he got injured, and then after that, it just wasn't the same, really. So, that injury definitely hurt him a little bit, but still love Stromer. Still has the biggest goal in Hershey, one of the biggest goals in Hershey Bears history. To get that overtime winner in 2024 to get the Bears their 13th Calder Cup. So yeah, Stromer definitely loved by Bears fans. Great on the penalty kill. Kinger definitely used Stromer a little bit more this year. Nelson primarily used Strome on the fourth line and on the penalty kill, but I felt like Kinger had him up playing a more bigger role, like on the power play, the penalty kill, not always on the fourth line. So happy with Stromer, yeah, he did a good season, and we'll see what happens with him next year. Next up, we have Grant Cruikshank. Now, Grant had a really good year. He played 67 games, had 10 goals, 8 assists for 18 points. He was really good shorthanded. That's where most of his goals came from, shorthanded. He is the shorthanded king, really good on the penalty kill. He did resign, so he will be back in Hershey next year, which I'm really happy about. Crocker is just a great player, and excited to watch him next year as well. And so those are the main leaders statistically. So that's what we have there. Now we're going to go to goaltending. Goaltending, really important. There was actually 3 guys that played for Hershey this year. So we'll start with goals against average. Leading the way is Clay Stevenson with a 2.62 goals against average. And then it was Mitch Gibson with a 2.94 goals against average. And then a guy who did not play with Hershey but was traded to Hershey, never played a game in Hershey, but he did play with Henderson. He had a 3.41 goals against average. And then Garen Bjorklund, he had a 3.72 goals against average. So as you see, Stevenson and Gibson were the top 2 guys in terms of goaltending. Those were your 1 and 2 punch right there. Really liked that tandem that we had. We'll see if it's the same next year. I highly doubt it. I'll tell you why a little bit later. And then the save percentage. So Clay Stevenson had a .912 save percentage. Gibson .903. Bjorklund .876. And Vikman .866. And so Vikman and Bjorklund struggled, but Gibson and Stevenson were pretty solid. Gibson will be with Hershey next year, but I think Stevenson maybe gets a chance in the NHL with the Caps next year. It depends on what they do with Charlie Lindgren. I would trade him. If he's not a free agent, I would trade him. Get Stevenson up there. Stevenson's ready to be an NHL goalie. He's shown that, and yeah. So I don't know how many of you guys have seen this, but Sonny Milano, who the Caps were able to get for a little bit of time, he will not be in Hershey next year. He is signed overseas in Switzerland for the SC Bern in the Swiss National League in the fall. He sustained a head injury last year, which ended the season early for him. He was waived. He was sent down to Hershey. He had 5 goals and 13 points in 16 games for Hershey this season. So thanks, Milano. Best of luck overseas. We'll miss you in the organization, but yeah, good luck, and hope that you have a lot of fun over there. The next thing that we're going to get into is 2 veterans that we don't know what the future holds for them. One of them is Aaron Ness. Will Ness retire? Now, he was asked this question in his post-game interview. He said he doesn't know yet, but I believe his career is over. According to Zach Fish, he was really emotional on the ice, skating around, acting like that was it. I think Nestor's done. And if he is done, what a great career that Ness had. You could just tell when Bears got him back, they started playing much better hockey. Nestor's a great captain, great hockey player, great person, great teammate. And we'll miss Ness if this is it. If it's not, we'll take Ness back next year. But I believe this is it for Aaron Ness. I think he's done. Another question that we have is will Matt Strome leave in free agency? He's a free agent. He will be a veteran. there's more, free agents, whatnot, but Stromer's one of the bigger ones, and I really hope Stromer comes back, especially if we lose Ness. If we lose Ness, you have to bring Strome back. You got to have veterans back. I believe Matt Strome has to be back if Aaron Ness retires. Matt has said that he wants to be back in Hershey. He loves the organization. And so I really hope they find a way to bring Matt Strome back, because I'd love him back in Chocolate Town next year. So kind of now into the standings. The Bears finished 5th in the Atlantic this year. First place with Providence, then Wilkes-Barre, then Charlotte, Bridgeport, Hershey, Springfield, and Hartford.
In Lehigh Valley.
So some of the guys that could very well be big pieces for the Capitals next year. We have Ivan Miroshnichenko, Clay Stevenson, Ilya Perotis, Andrew Cristall, Bogdan Trinev, Brett Leeson. They all could make the Caps out of training camp and be big pieces for Washington next season. I don't think all of them make the team, but I think some of them do. And so that's basically that. But my thoughts on the season, it was a back and forth year. There was definitely moments where, it was fun to watch a team and they were playing well, but there was also dark moments where the Bears were just not playing well, and it was not super fun to watch a team. I only saw one win this year at Giants Center. I go to many games every year. I only saw one win this year. So that tells you they were not very good on home ice, which is highly concerning. Obviously, games 3 and 4 were in Hershey in the second round of the Atlantic Division semifinals, and they lose both of them at home. That can't happen. Bears have to be a better team on home ice next year, because if you suck at home ice, you're not going to win a Calder Cup. That's the bottom line. You need to be a good home ice team. Your home ice should be super beneficial for you, especially in the playoffs. But when you suck on home ice, it just doesn't help you. And the Bears were terrible on home ice this year. And it was frustrating only seeing one win. And it was a win in overtime. It wasn't like a regulation win. So we beat the Checkers. That was the only win I saw. But just frustrating to only see one win. I get the team was young and all that, but when you only see one win a year, it's highly frustrating, and you expect more. I do want to say congrats to the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. They deserved it. As much as I hate the Penguins, they're a good team, and I hope the Thunderbirds knock them out in the Atlantic Division Finals, but we'll see what happens. Some of my highlights from this year, on autograph night, took some pictures with some of my favorite players. Here you go. Here's a little part of all the pictures that I got with some of the players and with some of the coaches. So here you go. I also met Jake the Dent. I went up to him talked with him, took a picture. Did this a lot this year, but it was really nice to meet Jake finally. Great guy. A lot of fun to go up to him at games when we were both there. Just talked Bears, had fun. Talked Stars if they were playing. There was one game. This was, I think, my last game of the season. He had the start. He was watching the Stars playoff game where they got killed. But yeah, so great to meet Jake. He's a great guy, and if you know who he is, definitely go up and talk to him. He's a great guy. And yeah, so it was fun being able to meet him. It was fun getting a picture with Zach Fish. Zach Fish is my favorite broadcaster. I mean, the guy's just great person, great broadcaster. I know a lot of people say John Walton was also really good. I don't really remember John Walton a lot because obviously I was younger when he was a broadcaster, but John was also really good. He's also great with the Caps, broadcasting team up there. But Zach, just phenomenal job by Zach Fish. Can't wait to listen to him again next year. But yeah, so met a lot of great people. Got some pictures with some great people this year. So definitely a season I will never forget. I made some vlogs. I believe it was 31 against Springfield, one against Providence, and one against the Belleville Senators. We lost all three of those games. But still, there's 3 vlogs up on the channel. There's a mini vlog against Charlotte where you only see like the intro and you see the replay of the one Hershey goal. That wasn't anything special. I just decided to upload it because I figured why not. But yeah, so there's vlogs. If you guys want to go back and you want to watch some of the games, you can. There's 3 vlogs on my channel. Jake Den, he's got multiple in his, so you can always go over to his channel as well and watch some of the games over there. But definitely an up and down year, a year that hopefully leads to a lot of success next year. We'll see what the coaching looks like. Will Kinger be back? Will Bootland be back? Yeah, there's definitely questions that need to be answered. But that's gonna basically wrap it up, for today's video. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Fun year. You guys will be getting content over the summer. Don't you worry. But yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed. And for the final time this season, let's go Bears.